Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 17 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to the series, definitely check out some of the older videos. If you're a returning viewer and you're enjoying it, definitely consider subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into episode 17 here. So, we are just here in Hythe, taking a look at our con mat production. You can see that ever since we shifted that con mat, it's not delivering to Yateley anymore, solely Norton. And I want to do something with the extra, production ability of this con mat. I would love to get some con mat delivered up here to Redruth. And there are kind of a couple ways that we could go about this. We could just build a road up here and just kind of continue the road. We could build a rail line. It's a pretty interesting idea. Con mat line, get out on another platform and very easily branch it off in this direction and make our way up to Redruth. And I think that that is probably the direction that we're going to go. So with that being said, let's come in here and let's add on another platform. Like so. Interestingly enough, I don't recall what this outside platform was going to be used for. I feel like it was probably for the tools delivery that never was established. Is there a reason that we would want that? I mean, maybe to bring... No, because the fuel's coming in. The tools are coming in. Con mat is leaving. I don't know, I might just leave that platform there and we can use it, in future if we need to. But first of all, let's just branch out here and kind of see where we're going to go. So I think we're going to take it around this little mountain right here, in between the mountaintop and this coal mine. So we'll kind of come straight out here, bring ourselves down towards the coast, and then follow the coast up, and then try and figure out where we want to drop this off. Now, Redruth's industry is kind of right here, right adjacent to this harbor, which isn't the best location, but there isn't really anything we could do about that. However, I think it gives us an interesting opportunity as far as where to put this rail station, and I think I'm going to tuck it in right here. Right about there. Let's kind of see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. It is going to mean that rail is going to come, pretty far downtown, but luckily it's staying away from the residences. It's still in the business area mainly, and pretty close to the industrial area. So I think that will be good to go. Now the question, where are we going to put our truck stop, which we will inevitably need? I think we'll probably go ahead and put it in right about there. And we can do something like that. And you can actually see... Interesting. Has this always had lines on it? I don't think it has. I think we're on the verge of getting our new roads. But maybe I'm just crazy. That is entirely possible. Now let's see. For con mat delivery, are we in catchment? Yeah, we're pretty much catching everything that we would need. So this is going to be sufficient. So let's kind of work our way down here. So we'll go straight out. Straight out a little bit further, just in case we ever need to expand that. And then we'll start to run down the coast here. Like so. Let me just check my speeds. Yeah, so it's still 75. So we can get out of that view. And we can just continue to run down the coast here, just being aware of where we're trying to go. So we know if we reach this bridge, we have gone too far. So we'll just continue it along here, following our coastline. You can see we're kind of digging in a little bit. So I might start to bring that up. I might even back this out and start to bring it up a little bit sooner. Because I have a feeling like we're going to need to start bringing it up eventually anyway. So we'll just kind of start our climb here gradually. You can see that we are arriving at that bridge, so we need to start our turn here. And I would love to kind of see what the terrain is doing. So now we're going to climb. I imagine we'll probably have to tunnel here, and then we'll get up here, and it's just a gradual climb all the way up there, which isn't, you know, totally ideal, but it's not the end of the world. So let's kind of bring that over. Make sure that we're maintaining 75 miles an hour. And then we will continue our climb through here. I'm just curious to see how steep that is. It's fairly steep, but it's not horrible. And I think we're at a good slope to be able to make it. Yeah, not quite. I mean, part of me would love to just grab that and connect that into there and see kind of what it does. So we end up getting a pretty decent slope. So what I might do is back that out to right after this bridge and then just make our connection and just see what this does as far as slope. Hopefully it equalizes it out fairly well. You can see that we are getting a bridge, a little bit of bridge. It definitely doesn't need to be a bridge. And then we'll connect that up. And now we have this. So I would like to smooth that out a little bit. Let's kind of fix that slope a little. And then we can fix this slope as well. And then rather than filling all of that in as we normally do, I'm just going to smooth out along the road to make it look like the road was following the natural contours. Kind of like that. Then we'll just kind of do up the contours a little unnaturally there. And I think that looks good. I think it looks pretty natural. And now we have our cargo rail line established. So now we can get a line from Hythe all the way down to Redruth. Let's make this really dark maroon color. Let's see, that doesn't conflict with any of our rail lines. Kind of matches that. It's actually the same exact color as our passenger ferry. That's okay though. I don't think that that should matter. And now this at Hythe, I want it to wait for full load forever. And this is going to be our Redruth Conmat rail line. And now is there... Can't really see a reason to not do this, but I think I'm going to pull this out straight for now. I'll pull out both of those. And then I'm going to branch off like this. And then this will be where we are going to put in our, spin this around, our depot for this line. And then I could also do something like that. Except I probably want to grab it from here. And then let's get some non-one-way signals going like that. That one's too shallow. So I'm going to grab this, pull this out a little bit more just to give myself a little bit more space to make this curve. This is kind of not a necessary project. Put that in and then put a non-one-way signal there. Then make that a double switch as well. Okay, so now if we ever add any more lines onto this, we have a depot here. Okay, very good. So now let's get our, so we have our line here, Redruth Conmat. Now we're going to need to get a vehicle on it, so let's go in here. We're not going to use the Croccodile here. I have another plan for the Croccodile. But for now, do we go straight to an A35? I mean, potentially. Let's take a look at this train. So this carries 152. That is a max length. Max length A35 cargo train. Just kind of smooth that out. Okay. So, how much does this demand? See, this only demands 72. Something tells me that that demand is going to grow fairly quickly. So, let's go with an A35. And we will go maybe 200 meters, so it can take 128. And let's see how that does. Redruth Conmat. Okay. So that will come out, and now this should, if we speed this up, should start to recognize Redruth. Yep. Perfect. Okay. So now as this demands more, we're going to need to provide it with more stone. So let's come in here. Get maybe 6 more stone trucks. Just to get more stone going. And I wonder if this is going to push this over. It may. Although the delivery is not being made. Which is unfortunate. There's just way too much conmat piling up here. So, we'll have to see if we can do something about that. Because I would love for this to upgrade itself, but it won't until this transportation, the percentage of goods that are being transported increases. And I don't really have a way to fix that without just simply adding on another one of these trains, which we could do. I just don't want to completely congest the lines. And that actually brings us to kind of our main event for this episode. In an effort to not congest these lines, I'm going to add a much larger train onto here. Unfortunately, it means I'm going to have to destroy this platform to make it longer. Actually, am I? Perhaps not. Let's see. So if I come into there, can I delete that out? And now let's see how long did I just make that. We'll grab one of these to measure. So I would like to go 2 longer than that. Just make this a huge platform. Like that. And now if we go into cargo buildings, yeah, I should be able to get something like this going. And now maybe let's try and straighten this road out a little bit. So we'll get something like that. Connect that in there. So now this is all back in catchment, and now all we need to do is reconnect this road. Like that. Okay. Now let's just kind of smooth out this area because we just did some editing of it. And now we can accommodate quite a large train here. And now we're going to come down to this cargo station and do the same thing. So if we take a look at how this compares to a 320, so this needs 1 additional section to equal this and then 2 more after that. So we will disconnect all of these lines. And I imagine we'll have to bring this back quite a ways. So let's do that. And then let's come into here. And add on our additional tracks and platforms. Like that. And now we just need to get our tracks over there. So we'll drag this straight up here. And then how do we want to make this merge? Probably pull this off here. Merge that in there. And then this track on the outside is going to come into here. And merge in like that. Okay, and now we have a lot of terraforming madness going on. So we'll just smooth that out, pull that out. And now let's fix this before I forget. So let's take a little grass. Clean that up, and then we come through here with a couple of our other grasses. Just kind of blend it in. Just like that. And then if we grab our ballast, we can actually come through here. Just make this look a little bit nicer. Like that. Perfect. Okay. And now we need to come into our tools because we are going to use an electric train for our freight line coming down here. So that all needs to be electric. That does not need to be. Neither does that. That doesn't need to be. That does need to be. And then this needs to be going all the way down. As does this, because this is where it's going to come from. And then this track all needs to be electric. So that we can get our new train on here. And then the electricity is going to stop right here, because it's going to go off this track onto here and then onto there. So hopefully it should be able to use this. I think it will, because the electricity is all here. Right? There's electricity going this whole way. And now this platform is electric, and I think this is going to work. Okay, so now we've got a huge platform here. If we compare it to our 320. Actually, let me just make sure that that's the right size. Looks like it. Just trying to make sure. Can't really tell. So I'm going to measure really quick. So I'm going to put that down. So that's one larger than a 320. And I think this one's two larger. It's kind of unfortunate. Because if we come into here now, yeah, this is two larger. All right, well, in that case, I don't really want to redo the one that we just built, so I'm actually just going to shorten this one up by one. Okay, so we have somewhere around, 350 or so meters to work with. So let's come in here now, and let's grab this train. The reason we're doing that is there's a ton of grain down here, and then there's also a ton of food that wants to go back. So we are going to edit this. We are going to put on the Croccodile. And then we are going to increase, so we have 5 boxcars on there right now. So we will get rid of all of them. And we will do something like that. And it has, okay, so it has mediocre performance. I've never used this train, so I have no idea what to expect. But we're just going to see how it works. So it's not that train. It's this train right here. So let's see. This is getting up to speed. Definitely. I think this is going to work well, personally, but we'll have to see, because it has a ton of capacity relative to its other, its cousin. So we'll just have to see how it runs. And I think it looks great too. It's so unique. And you can see we could fit just a few more cars on there if we really wanted to, but let's see how we do filling up And now the question is, can it get up to speed? I mean, it has a ton of power, so I kind of feel like it will do okay. And I also just want to make sure, it says that there are no errors, so I think we've electrified everything that we need to. But 47 is the top speed here. So we'll have to see how we do. I mean, it is certainly picking up speed on the incline, which is great. That's what we want to see. The other incline coming back towards Norton is more significant than the one going to Carshalton. But you have to remember, when it comes back, it's not going to have this full load of grain. It's only going to have this load of food. So I think that that's going to work great. And this is now our longest, most powerful train that we have in our, in operation. So we will just have to see how it does. And I might just kind of bet the house here and add on a few more cars. It should fit. Yeah, it just fits. And now we're taking back 72 food, which is great. I think that should work. I mean, that's more than twice as much as we brought back last time. And I think it should do okay on this incline. Again, because it doesn't have the full load of grain. It just has the load of food at the tail end. So we're hitting 40. Not bad, not bad. Making its way up this slope. Doesn't look like it's going to quite get to top speed, but it's performing pretty well, I'd say. Considering the load that it currently has. 42. Yeah, I'd say that's good. And it's not going to congest the line as much as adding on a second train would have. This seems to be completely maxed out. So I don't really think that we need all of these boats, all of these ships, these Schaffhausens, because I feel like by the time this one loads up... Yeah, so I'm going to sell that one, just because I don't think we need all of them. I think 3 will do, because the Schaffhausens have significantly more capacity and speed. So perfect, this is now leaving with another load of grain. Probably get a few more grain trucks on that delivery. Okay, so that's going to be great. Let's go back and let's check on our Conmat train. So he's waiting for a full load. I really hope that that's not the same... I hope that he's already made a run. We can check. This says that they've gotten 0, so I'm not so sure. Although, look at the amount of Conmat that is on this platform. So we're going to go ahead and get 5 more Conmat delivery trucks on there to hopefully get some more of it moved. And then let's see how we're doing on stone. Probably get a few more stone trucks. Maybe 4. And I think that this should work pretty well. It's got stone piled up. It's just, this is taking a while to get its full load of Conmac going. But I think that'll be okay. Let's take a look at some of these destinations. So, people in Hythe... Yeah, virtually none want to go up to Redruth. And they, interestingly enough, they are taking public transportation. I imagine they're probably taking the bus to Twickenham, and then the ferry up to Redruth. 77% utilization up to Duckenfield. 65% to Sandown. That's not very good. Although I'd be interested to see... Yeah, there's only 7 waiting there. Let's see where the people in Sandown are going. Twickenham seems to be the furthest that they go, so they are a small town. Is Oakengates going anywhere? It's not Oakengates. They are not. Twickenham seems to be fairly well connected. I mean, they got people going to Skelton, Sandown, Redruth, Norton, Hythe, Duckenfield, and Carshalton. And they're virtually using public transportation for all of those. I imagine Skelton probably has a pretty good... Okay. So this reminds me, Askern. The number of passengers at these Askern stops are just huge, and our little train here has done fantastic work getting up there, but I think it's time, unfortunately, for him to be replaced. And I think the thing that's going to replace him might be a PLM. BR-75, I'm just concerned that it won't be able to make it up that hill. I mean, it probably will. It'll probably be fine. Let's see how it does. We'll go with a BR-75. These guys currently have 51 capacity. So let's go up to 73. And then let's see how he does. So 56 miles an hour is his top speed. I'm hoping that he will maintain that for the duration of this climb. So getting up to 50, yeah, and he did just drop us a little speed. So let's see, 52. I think this will be totally fine. So he's losing a little bit of speed getting up there, but I think 50 miles an hour is still pretty good. And it'll be a much faster journey, which hopefully will mean even more people will want to take this train down to Skelton. We're going to get a couple more buses on this inner city bus route. And he's heading back down with another full load of passengers. Okay, so that's good. What else do we need to take a look at around here? Just trying to refine things a little bit more. One thing that we could do... We've got a ton of plastic, and we are really hurting for steel. Or silver. And I think a big reason for that is we're just not getting enough silver ore delivered into here. So I think we could go with getting another silver ore train onto this line. So with that being said, let's come into here. Carshalton to Skelton, silver, and goods. And those are max length. So let's find this new train. Coming from all the way up here. So that's good. Now, I would like to help the road situation here. This cross, because we now have so many trains on here, is just not enough. I think we probably could get a couple more trucks up here delivering tools. But anyway, I would love to do something here. Problem is, I don't really know... What I would love to do is a combination of dropping this down a little bit. Alright, so we're going to pause, because we're going to break this. And then we are going to break this. So let's get all of that ripped out of here. And then we'll get that ripped out of here as well. And then let's grab a track. Connect that up. And then just sink it down a little. Now I do need to connect this in. So we'll remove that. We will grab here. This looks pretty good. It's going to go up a little bit. Come into here. Now this needs a cross, if I do remember correctly. And I wonder if I made that too sharp. Is that sharper than it was before? So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, we'll add that cross in there. We could make that a double switch. And now, what else? I believe we had a cross in here. $30 miles an hour. And now let's get this to cross over that bridge. So if we grab this, we will use our curved road tool. Let's see if we bring that to there. Because we want it to be a flat bridge, inevitably. So let's see if we build the bridge first. Something like that. And then if we back this out, yeah, that's way too steep. Alright, so let's try and get this at the right height. That still seems really tall to me. Just a lot of trial and error here, just trying to get it as low as we can. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then this is really where I want it. And I think that that looks good. And I think that's probably as good as we're gonna get. So now maybe if we connect that up there, that would probably work. And then connect that up there. Curve this around, and then curve that in there at a 90. Okay, so now we have a little bridge going on here. So that should help us with our traffic flow. I'm still a little worried. That's pretty steep. But I just don't really see a good way to fix it. I mean, I could break this off. Curious to see if we get rid of those. And then I don't really know who's using this. Yeah, so now that functions, and it makes me think... What if I pulled this up straight? And then after the autosave, I'm going to branch this over here like that. As well as pull that off straight. And then make that connection. Yeah, that's much smoother. Okay. So now we can let this run. We can go into our terrain stuff here, smooth a bunch of this out, and then we can go into our brushes here. We can clean this up. Now I don't really know what the... Is it gravel? No, that doesn't look very good. Yeah, that actually might look nicer. I'm just thinking because this is kind of in a city, you imagine it would be cleaner than kind of out in the rural areas. So why don't we use gravel? And then we'll kind of come in here and just clean up the grass along here. Just like that. And then we can grab some ballast here. Clean up the tracks. And then I think we're going to be looking pretty good. So now we just need to do some grass. Some grass through here, and then we will put in a little bit of rock. Just under here, to show that they've kind of reinforced that point where the bridge is. Okay. And now we shouldn't have that road conflict that was kind of slowing down some of this industry, which is good. Perfect. And let's see, Skelton to Hythe still has huge passenger numbers. Let's take a look at where these trains are. My silver trains, so I have one coming back. And it looks like the other one is pulling into the station. So that is a pretty good separation, I would say. And we have a problem. Okay, rail line, Skelton to Askern. What is the problem? Could not connect all stations. Oh, it's because I completely forgot to, completely forgot to hook it back up. Man, and I can just get it through there. I might have to fix this bridge. Because this is supposed to come down here, tie in there, and we're supposed to have a one-way signal there, and a non-one-way signal there. But now it almost doesn't look like this bridge is extending far enough. So let me grab that. Let's see. That looks good. Yeah. That looks good. We'll just come through here now. And just fix this really quickly. And then we just need a little bit of stone. Just like that. Okay. So that works. We now have our bridge in, and this train fixed itself. Which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay. So now, what else? Let's finally go check this out. This train is still loading, although it looks like it made its first run, which is great. Hang on one sec, I'll be right back. And we're back. Alright, sorry about that. What were we talking about? We were talking about this rail line, which seems to be performing pretty well, getting a good load of con mat. We could even get a few more trucks in there to get some con mat, as well as probably a couple more on the stone delivery. This is going to level up at some point. We just need this to, you know, demand more, which is just going to require places to grow. But I think this is going to be really good. It's going to help Redruth grow, which in turn will kind of grow our passenger numbers here. I think we could probably go ahead and add a couple buses onto the Duckenfield route right after this autosave. So we'll just go ahead and get 2 on at that end. And then add 2 at this end. And make sure those are the right color. And then one thing I also did was I went through these towns and I replaced all the inner city buses with the new buses. Just to help stuff move around. As you can see, we have a ton of people who want to take the bus down to Redruth. We are kind of struggling with grain here. And luckily we have some grain coming in because we keep getting this problem here. I'm going to go ahead and sell one of those trucks and hopefully that'll help us out, just keep stuff flowing a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't really know how to fix this. I mean, I could put a road around here. Let's see if that would do it. So if I added in 2 connections there. And then maybe made that connection. And then if I could branch that off like that. Just kind of smooth that out. Like that. Yes, and we actually don't need that. We don't need that connection. Although maybe I do want something like that. That just turned into kind of a mess, but I mean, it'll function better. And maybe we can come in here with some nice trees in there like that. And then we could probably even come in here. What are these? Sugar maple, European linden. Just kind of fill this in a little bit. Like that. Maybe clear out those. Oh, that looks terrible, so we won't do that. But anyway, yeah, I think you kind of get the gist. I think that looks good. And now that's kind of separated all of the loading areas in here, so hopefully we can really keep a continuous flow going in here. And I think for the most part, this is running pretty well, and it's probably going to bring us to the end of this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far in the video and you did enjoy it, definitely consider subscribing to the channel for more content, leaving a like and a comment on the video. Love getting the comments. Try and respond to them as quickly as I can. And until the next time, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye.